The Hungarian AK63D. These were entered into Hungarian service in 1963, obviously the 63 designation. These were used by Hungarian forces since that time. Excellent, very high quality AKMs in the Hungarian army. These were used in the Iraq-Iran war. It was also used in the Gulf War with Iraq forces, and also notably by Nicaraguan forces, the Sandinistas, against the Contras, and all over the world. These have served in so many nations, and of course 1963, that gives you quite a few years of experience with these rifles. One of the things about Hungarian rifles is they are some of the best. Their quality control is really excellent. Now, the Hungarians had two designations, the AK-64F, which was a wood fixed stock, and then the AK-64D, which was the underfolding stock. Here we have a U.S. made receiver, barrel, muzzle brake, and other parts that are put together with Hungarian parts, which again are very high quality, and these are imported by Century Arms. We're going to take a closer look, but the parts on this gun, it's as though it's a brand new gun. But the reason for that is Century Arms is actually importing parts that are unissued for these rifles. Now, the Hungarian plant that actually produces these is the famous FEG, which produces a lot of handguns that have been imported into the U.S. and of course these rifles as well. They also produce weapons for the Hungarian military. It is in 7.62 by 3.9. Now, one of the big differences with this rifle compared to the standard 63D, which is actually an AKM, which AKM stands for a stamped receiver. These are U.S. made milled receivers with 4140 ordnance steel, made by Century Arms, very similar to their C39 receivers. If you don't know anything about the new Century Arms U.S. made AK-47s, they are top notch. Now, Century Arms has really stepped up their game with their manufacturing processes, putting in really great inspectors, going through all the different parts, really taking care to really make an exceptional rifle.
The Hungarian AK-63D is what we call an X code gun. And when you look at Century codes, if you ever ordered guns from us, there's N, X, G. N stands for new, so all these guns have an N code, RI set of numbers N. These are RI set of numbers X, and X means that that gun is using some kind of surplus parts in any combination. So, as I was telling the guys earlier, Hungarian parts have always been some of the best AK parts you can buy on the market. What makes them the best is their tolerances are tighter. If you take 10,000 Hungarian AK kits and measure every part that can be measured on it and compare it to 10,000 Bulgarian kits, Romanian kits, Russian kits, the Hungarian kits are going to probably come out on top almost every single time. We have a 36 to 48 month supply. This gun's going to be on the market. It's part of our classic series. The difference between this and the AK-63D from Hungary is this uses a milled receiver. And the reason we did that is to be able to get you an underfolder at a price point that's not a sticker shock. Underfolders in these parts are expensive. They're expensive for us to procure, they're expensive for us to break down, they're expensive for us to move through our bond facility. We have a lot of money invested in these parts compared to manufacturing parts in the U.S. So to be able to do that, we used a milled receiver. This receiver is a derivative of our C39 original receiver. It's got a lot of the same basic engineering functions. the longevity. But we use that and we attach the Hungarian parts to it. And that gives you an underfolder that's a little weightier than a stamp gun. The rear underfolder is a lot more solid when you pull it out. And you guys are all going to get to shoot this. We brought several of them. And the parts are just, the guns are all brand new. I mean, the rear's good, the parts are new. It's a beautiful, beautiful rifle. And Chris, what's the MSRP on this?
I believe MSRP on that, it's going, what is it, $6.99?
Yeah, something like that. It's right around the V2, but you get an underfolder, and it's a little different look for the guys that want a foreign gun. So if you want an underfolder, this is the way to go. Ron Dan, the buyer over at Chattanooga's got one, and it's turned in his go-to gun that goes in the fanny pack, and he said he's put about 9,000 rounds through it, just blasting away, doing some training classes and stuff, not a single hiccup. He absolutely loves it, and that's on the range, not in like a static environment where we're testing it. So this is AK63D. We're going to shoot it. A little weightier. You guys will tell the difference when you're shooting the underfolder. You'll like it a little better.
First thing we're going to do is go ahead and safety check. We're going to remove the magazine, which it does come with one 30-round magazine. Pull the bolt back, and it is empty. Now first off, you're going to notice that the action is really smooth. The wood furniture on these rifles is just really exceptional. This is from Hungary, from the FEG plant, and just a very well light blonde color. The grip here has just a couple of marks on it, and I noticed that with a couple of others that I've handled. Just some little scuff marks, but not even into the wood. It's almost like, in fact, I thought I had done that at first with some, maybe having a little grease on my hands when firing it. But it's just a really well-made piece. Okay, with the underfolder, you have a small button right back here at the back. Press it in. This comes out, locks into place. The butt plate swivels, and this allows for you to close the stock or open it with the magazine in place, which is really important. Right here's the button, depressed, bring it around, bring the stock out, and then it just fits right over your magazine. Same thing, of course, with retracting it. Bring it back out. It's checkered to give you a little traction. Push it in. It has a sling swivel right here, and also a sling attachment right here. It does feature a U.S. made slant muzzle brake. This keeps the gas pressure shooting to this direction, and it keeps the barrel in the down position. Typically in the AK, it wants to cant up this way, and this just reverses the effect. The front sight tower is protected by ears. You have your front post here, which is removable, and you can set your elevation here. And here you have your traditional AK rear sight, and of course elevation with the adjustments here. Does have the cleaning rod included and a bayonet mount. And what's an AK without a bayonet mount? Lock into place. Bayonet not included. The fit and finish of the milled receiver is exceptional. I mean, it's very crisp, no tooling marks, very well done, with Century Arms International right here on the receiver, AK63D. This whole area right here, just even the cutouts, it does add a little bit of weight because of the milled receiver, which gets it to about 7.5 pounds. Even the magazine well is really beefed up. It's really nice. Of course, magazines go in really easy. Magazine release is right here. It's not really an extended mag release. It's pretty short nub. It's easy to get to, and it's really positive. Of course, you have safe and fire with your safety right here. It's a really positive safety. It's not too tight. Sometimes on these rifles they can be really tight and hard to get a hold of. With the stock in place, it's only 26 inches, which makes it really compact, makes it excellent for a pack, for a car rifle, just to be able to stow away very easily. Now you can fire it with the stock lifted, but it wasn't really designed for that. But you can still do it. I mean, you know, a lot of guys are shooting pistols just like this. And with the stock fully extended, it's 35 3/4 inches in length. To remove the dust cover, push in, lift up. We'll go ahead and disassemble, taking a recoil spring out, bolt carrier, and our bolt. Very well finished and made bolt carrier. The trigger is a U.S. made Tapco trigger. It is double hooked and it's really smooth. All the fit and finish inside the receiver as well is very well done. One of the things about this rifle, I have not cleaned it, and I have put about 500 rounds through this rifle. And also at the Century Arms media shoot, I probably shot about 300 rounds through one of these while I was there. I just really enjoy shooting this rifle. It's just very well made, very well finished. For reassembly, just slide your bolt in, put your carrier down, recoil spring in. The finish on this is some sort of a phosphate. It's a very well executed finish. This of course is a dust cover, which is typical for your AKs, even with the milled receiver. Now the legendary reliability of the AK-47 is shown in the 63D. With all the shooting that we did with this rifle, we experienced no malfunctions whatsoever, no problems at all. And that's not including what I did myself at the range personally with this gun, but also out at the Century Arms media event. I put a number of rounds through it there where it functioned flawlessly, and all the rifles that were being used. In fact, I did a video on my Sensible Prepper channel of the AK-47 being an SHTF rifle, and this, not this one in particular, but one of the 63Ds. My buddy Ben Thomas took his, threw it in the mud, stepped on it, shot through it, dirtied up the ammo, shot through it. I mean, it was just a really excellent demonstration. Unfortunately, even though I got quite a bit of it on the first video, there was a lot that he did that wasn't even shown.
Probably shot it loose. Only an AK-47 can do that.
This rifle in particular is up to the task. If you're looking for something that is going to shoot, is going to function, I think you're going to find that the AK63D, the Hungarian AK, made by Century Arms International, is definitely a great go-to rifle.
Son, there was very little muzzle rise on that.
Yeah, it stays very flat.
Most AKs to me just beat me to death. This just seemed to, when I started shooting, it just stayed right with it.
Those slant brakes that come on those, they really work. They really work.
I like that.
Now the manufacturer suggested retail price for the AK63D from Century Arms is $699. On J&G sales, I just kind of was looking around for other prices because typically street price is a little bit less than your manufacturer suggested retail, but they were $679. There were some other places that had them that were out of stock. So these are very popular rifles. There are a lot that have been sent out, but again, they're very popular. Of course, you know, they fit all the AK magazines. You have your U.S. Made Milled Receiver, U.S. Made barrel, chrome lined, other U.S. parts, U.S. trigger group, then your Hungarian traditional high quality parts that are put on this rifle, including it being an underfolder, which makes it great. Again, very compact, very small, perfect for your bug out bag, your truck, a good bag size, just very easy and portable. I think that this is an exceptional rifle, and I think you'll find that the quality on it, you're going to really enjoy it. The AK63D is just a great example of what Century Arms has become. You know, going from a big importer, bringing in lots of parts, and now really making the quality builds just like this 63D, and of course their whole line of regular AKs that they're actually making right here in the United States. But I think for an imported AK, it's going to be hard to beat the AK63D. The Century Arms International AK63D, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. The underfolder, of course, fits up. The underfolder fits really nice. Underfolder, little button.
What's that? Oh, did you get it?
I hate wire stocks.
I met your dumb ass when you were in high school. You had an AK-47. Coming to training.
With a pistol and a gallon
Yeah.
of whiskey, right there. I watched Red Dawn when I was like 7, and I was like, oh yeah, yes.
Of course, it might look good, but it was all hitting the ground.